So Bess, the market is hot, but New York obviously saw a bit of a real estate reckoning at the height of the pandemic. As we emerge from it, are all of those pandemic pricing discounts now completely gone?
Yeah, those, nice to see you, by the way. Thank you for having me. The discounts that were offered during the pandemic are gone, and the rental incentives that were offered during the pandemic are gone. And the market is back with a ferocity and intensity that I have never seen in my history of real estate. We just closed the third quarter here, and it's monumental for us. And people are feeling good. Businesses are open. People are back. And I have story after story from real estate agents who are telling me that people are coming in. I just had an agent tell me a couple came into his apartment. It was a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and they offered full ask. The guy said, look, I'll pay cash. I'll waive a contingency. I want to close. I mean, people are angling, doing whatever they can to pursue these properties. And, we're not even open yet to the foreign buyers. So I think that will improve it even more. And it feels really good to be in this place right now, coming from an environment where it was really quiet and it was a little bit scary at times. So we're really in a great place in New York City.
No doubt. Bess, I guess we should have all listened to Jerry Seinfeld when he talked about New York ready to come back. He's certainly doing okay in real estate as well. But, you guys have agents in Florida. All that dialogue that we saw last year about people leaving New York, what do the numbers tell us about that? I mean, did you guys anecdotally hear a lot about that, or was it just people pushing the pause button?
No, I mean, there's a little bit of both. So that is certainly true. I think the taxes drove a lot of people out of New York City before the pandemic even hit. And that is a real story. And that's something we're still challenged with today, which is why I'm very excited about the new mayor that will come into New York City in November, will be elected, hopefully November, Eric Adams. I believe he will be our new mayor. And he's going to work with legislators to improve that environment, that narrative. But people did leave New York City. And then during the pandemic, more people left. So that's a real story that we're still grappling with here. And you spoke about supply being low in other areas. That's true for us as well in territories like Connecticut and Florida and New Jersey. The supply just isn't there, and the prices have steeped up. Too much money chasing too few goods. And so we don't have that problem in New York City because we had ample supply during the pandemic, and now we're seeing a fluidness. But that's a challenge. But we are seeing people return from Florida. We are seeing people come back. I mean, that is happening.
What kind of differences are you seeing between the luxury market and, I guess, the mass market, you could call it?
Luxury here in New York City is on fire. The high end, there are people that are moving locations. They're going from downtown to uptown and vice versa, or going to different from west side to east side, or trying new neighborhoods, all that sort of thing. So that market is really doing well. And I have to say, the studio market, the 1-bedroom, the 2-bedroom market is very fluid. It's solid. People are coming back and investing. And look, rates are still historically so low, and people want to take advantage of that. The challenge we have is getting things closed because, New York City is a co-op market, cooperatives, 70% roughly, and that's very nuanced. It requires a board package and getting through the board. So it takes more time. That's really where we have more of a challenge because it can be 2 or 3 months until we get to the closing. But other than that, people are interested and they're investing here. And that's been really helpful for the vitality of our city.
Bess, when I used to live in Manhattan, I remember I had to make quick decisions about whether or not you were going to buy. One stat that really stood out to me was that the time on the market is certainly coming down significantly compared to last year. I think it's something like 25% lower. Based on everything you're saying, is that trend, you think, going to continue as we move into these final months of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't think it's going. I think people are still going to continue at this pace, and it should remain as such. And I think it could even absorption is in, people are really moving quickly in this environment. And so I only see it getting better because our borders are going to open. We're going to see foreign investors buying here, which will improve it and make it, even quicker. And there's still good supply. We're still in a buyer's market. So I don't see that changing. The only challenge, again, and I reiterate this because it's really something we all have to think about, is that the taxes, the legislators in Albany were concerned about that. We don't want to drive people out. We don't want to demonize wealthy people. We want to work together and create an environment where people feel like they can live here, they can invest here, and it welcomes everyone. That's what New York City is. It's a melting pot. And that's really my biggest concern. I mean, that's really the focus. And I think, again, not to plug Eric Adams again, but I really think he's somebody who's going to bring us together. He's also working with our former mayor, Mike Bloomberg, and I think that's going to be very helpful for all of us.
So, Bess, as you said, New York City is a melting pot. Is it also quite large? And the island of Manhattan itself is quite large. There are a lot of different neighborhoods within it. Now that people are slowly returning to the office in more of a hybrid way, where they'll be working from home part of the time, are you seeing the areas in which people desire to live within the city changing?
You're seeing a little bit. I see a lot of empty nesters, people moving from uptown to downtown. They want a new environment. And I'm seeing a lot of trends of people moving to Brooklyn, different parts of Brooklyn. So I think it's a little bit of a mix right now. And people are buying for outdoor space. That's been a big one. So if you have outdoor space right now, that's a big plus. I think the pandemic had everyone, as you guys mentioned, reconsider or reassess how they live. And I think that's why our housing market nationally has done so well, because people started to reassess their home and what they liked and what they didn't like. And so I think that brought in sort of this new mindset to homes.